Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video, we're going to talk about this lady. She has just made, a new name for herself. That she went independent and took a D away from, you know, being attached to her name. We're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. She was a national public servant, and she started out being a public servant, caring about the environment. Let's hear this in her own words right here. This is her on with Megyn Kelly on October 14th, 2022. This is the 18th right now, October 18th.
Here. Yeah, well, Megan, I was 21 years old back in 2002 in Hawaii when very passionate about the environment. I decided to run for the state house in Hawaii, had never declared a political affiliation before then, and really started to think about which party do I want to, which box do I want to check on that form to file my election papers. And looking at the history of the Democratic Party, especially in Hawaii, I was inspired by leaders who were fighting for plantation workers who were working under terrible conditions, inspired by national leaders like Martin Luther King, President JFK. And I saw a big tent inclusive Democratic Party that welcomed people who held views across the spectrum on the biggest issues of the day, who stood up for civil liberties, who stood up for free speech. And it made sense to me to join the Democratic Party. The Republican Party in Hawaii especially had been the party of the elite, the party of the rich and powerful. And I was interested in being a part of a party that was fighting for the people and fighting to protect our environment. Fast forward over the years.
So, yeah, let's just pause it there for a minute. So, she started out about the environment, and she's still dedicated to the environment. So, that's really key with what we're going to be asking her later. So, let's hear a little bit more. It's a little long-winded. It's a couple minutes, but the whole thing wraps up together.
Years. You look back at it, when I ran for president in 2020, really living through what we are seeing now in like high definition and in extreme, which is how this Democratic Party of today that's controlled by fanatical ideologues through that presidential campaign as a Democratic candidate for president, they attempted to limit my ability to speak to voters, limit my exposure, and actively sought to undermine and smear my character and credibility in my campaign. This has not stopped. Anytime the Democratic Party leaders see someone that challenges their narrative, that questions the policies they're putting forward, rather than just saying, you know what, hey, I disagree with her, and here are the reasons why. Instead, they take those tactics of smear, destroy, cancel, work with big tech to censor because they don't stand for freedom. They don't believe in the Constitution and are actively seeking to undermine our God-given rights enshrined in the Constitution, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. They want to control the way we think. They want to control what information we see. And it got to a point where this is a party that I can no longer associate myself with because of the danger and threat that it poses to our country, to our democracy.
All right. So now you're a free agent.
Okay. So yeah, now she's a free agent. But, in there she said that, you speak up to them when you don't agree with their policies and whatnot. Now, right here, if you search Tulsi Gabbard environmental, there's right here in January 2020, she said, reaching 100% renewable energy as quickly as possible is required to save our planet from the worst effects of climate change. Now, you know what, that's talking from somebody who maybe cares, but really is truly environmentally illiterate. Now, down here, when she ended her presidential campaign in March 2020, she said, for too long, our nation has failed to act on climate change. But she has concerns about the vagueness of the Green's New Deal. It's, the Green's newest disaster, as I call it. But, she's clearly not too happy. We have failed to take action. So tonight, now that she's independent, we're going to put her to the test. So I sent this email here today. I tell her, I used those quotes that I just read, and I said, it's unfortunate that she's looking for just 100% clean energy, because that is the last in the needed solutions, because it's the most unimpressive. And I tell her what we need. And I bothered her presidential campaign and public servant office once, like when she was campaigning, because I must have heard she was environmental, and I emailed her with the leadership the world needs. You're not going to get any. I could have emailed her every single day. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere through the campaign. I've been at this 30 years, but I don't have all the time in the world to endlessly ask people who seek solutions for a problem to allow solutions. Because I'm still 30 years into this, but I'm going to ask you again now, and I'm going to keep asking, Tulsi. Will you use your independent has a voice, voice to get the environmental leadership the world needs to the world? And if not, give it a rest and let the people know why. And, I told her I'm available to get to work immediately. And now I sent it to this email, info at Tulsi Gabbard, and I sent a test email a couple days ago, and it didn't come back to me. So this one hasn't come back to me so far yet either. So I'm assuming that's a working email, but I'm not going to leave it just up to that. She does not provide an email here. You guess at info at, but here is exactly what was in that email. And I am going to just send this right now in a video here. We're going to send this. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, my team and I read every mail that comes in. So, they're getting a high volume of email, but well, you know what? No one's giving her the solutions the world needs. Okay. The solutions that DC hasn't given the world. The solutions that she said that, what is that? For too long, our nation has failed to take action on climate change. This is the action the world needs. It's not, it's not clean energy. That's last. But let's listen to what Megan said about Tulsi. Okay, so this is Megan with Kristi Noem, and Tulsi and Kristi were in Congress together, and they're friends. So this is what Megan has to say about Tulsi.
Than Tulsi is, but she's just a reasonable person, and she hasn't abandoned all of her democratic principles.
What is the real story of January 6th?
Okay, so let's start that and then again, because YouTube just played an ad.
Than Tulsi is, but she's just a reasonable person, and she hasn't abandoned all of her democratic principles, but she's willing to compromise and willing to criticize her own side. And it would be exciting to see that happen in any shape.
So, form. Megan's talking about these two running together on a ticket, is what she was saying. That would be funny to see that on a ticket. But that's what she has to say about Tulsi. She's reasonable. She can get things going. And let's go a little further down into here this interview when we can hear from Tulsi again. Okay, so Megan had played that clip of her and Kristi from before, but this is Tulsi's reply to it.
What the future holds, but Kristi and I are keeping in touch, and we'll continue to try to find ways that we can help, however we can, to bridge the divides in America right now.
My God, it would.
There you go. And I would assume that would mean environmentally if Tulsi were presented the light years best environmental education and agenda that the world needs. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to call Tulsi right here at her 808-861-0793 number.
Aloha. You've reached the voicemail for TulsiGabbard.com. We appreciate your phone call. If this is a media or event request inquiry, please go to the website TulsiGabbard.com to submit the request under Contact in menu bar. If you would like to leave a message, please press 0. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Okay, so we all know I'm pressing 0.
Thank you for calling. Please leave a message, and your call will be returned as soon as possible.
Hey, Tulsi, this is Eileen Connors, the environmental educator, and I know that you're about the environment and that you really care about real solutions. And I know that you only talk about clean energy because that is all you're environmentally literate enough to talk about right now. But I have the light years best environmental education and agenda on the planet that every environmental voice hasn't allowed for since November '93. You say that for too long, our nation has failed to take action on climate change. I'm the action that the world needs that hasn't been allowed since November of '93. It can't be argued against. Ending global environmental illiteracy, truly, respectfully, even yours, most 99 point, most every single person on this planet is environmentally illiterate. And if you were literate, you would be talking about real solutions.
To receive the voicemail, press 1.
Okay.
To send the voicemail now, press 2.
Okay,
To discard and re-record,
we're gonna press 2.
3. For the voicemail has been sent.
Okay. So now we call back because we're not done. Okay, here we go. I won't bore you with the whole recording.
Aloha.
Aloha.
The voicemail for Tulsi Gabbard.
I'm gonna pause.
Calling. Please leave a
Okay.
message. And your
I
call
pressed
will be
0.
returned as soon as possible.
So, Tulsi, get this to Tulsi, actually, who's ever listening to this. This is Eileen continuing here. I'm making a video of this tonight, and the request that I just sent Tulsi at info@ and on her contact form. But, if Tulsi were environmentally literate, we'd be talking about real solutions like ending global environmental illiteracy, of which 99 point most every single person on the planet is. We would end our disposable society. From homes to fast food to stadium concessions to packaging and transportation packaging. We'd gain individual cooperation because that's the solution. Leadership by example would certainly do a world of good. And hemp, the Make Hemp Happen campaign. America should be leading the world in hemp. Hemp everything. It can be used for everything. And that is what we need before clean energy. Why? Because the first 5 on my agenda are achievable immediately and would have solved our problems decades ago. And when you start implementing solutions immediately, people acting immediately, ending our disposable society immediately, ending illiteracy immediately, good things happen. Actual solutions get implemented, positive things, solutions, and benefits get implemented right now. And so we need a leader who will really use the voice that she has and lead. And Tulsi should probably be it because no one else will step up to the plate. So I've asked tonight in an email and on your website contact form, and I'm doing a video about this. It'll be out on the www tomorrow. And I'll keep, if it will be bothering Tulsi, but actually I put in my emails that I'm available to get to work immediately, and I would expect that I would be getting to work immediately. Okay. We're going to send this. Okay. Okay, we're going to call back and finish.
Thank you for
Okay.
calling.
So we
Please
just
leave a
called
message
back.
And your call will be returned as soon as possible.
So this is Eileen finishing up. So yeah, we need to get on solutions now, and Tulsi can make that happen. All Tulsi has to do is go out there and start talking about it. And yes, many Democratic heroes that she truly believes cares about the environment will be exposed, but that is irrelevant. They have brought it upon themselves. I have begged them for almost up to 30 years in Al Gore's case to not put himself in this position. But someone needs to lead. And right now, Tulsi would be the person that really should do it. And she could make all this happen immediately. And the world needs it. So I'm putting this out in a video. we will see. I'm available to get to work immediately. That would certainly be a lot better than me continuing to beg Tulsi to be what she says she is. So, as I say, I am available to get to work immediately. You have my email and you now have my phone number. Immediately, 911. This is a 911 call. 911 means now. So let's get to work before this video gets loaded up on the www tomorrow. Okay. I won't hold my breath, but because because I do like breathing, but I certainly need to get to work, and the world certainly needs solutions, and Tulsi can certainly use her voice. Will she? If she doesn't, give it a rest and let the people know why. That's how I ended my email to her. And let's just be honest with the people, okay? But let's get to work. Let's choose behind door number 1. I think that's a good idea. See ya. So, people, we will see what happens in the world of Tulsi Gabbard. Will she pick up the gauntlet? Will she do what needs to be done? Will she take the lead and end up exposing every fraudulent environmental voice out there, which is everyone you could possibly think of, everyone from Gore to Greta, to the Oscars, to the ski industry, to Billie Jean King. We will see if this woman will be what she says she is and behave like she portrays herself. And stay tuned.